and welcome again to Summit. It's our program, your lovely program on MITU. I am Jumoke Michael. Banji, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Jumoke. Seizing this opportunity to actually felicitate and congratulate children for the anniversary, that's for commemoration of Children's Day, that's 2 days ago. And then also looking forward to the first anniversary of the current administration. My name is Banji Busari. You're welcome.
All right, so we are commemorating the handover ceremony because you remember that May 29 is no longer Democracy Day. It's now June 12. All right, so what we are celebrating is the handover ceremony. Please, we all need to remember as Nigerians. So today, 1 year in office, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and we are going to be evaluating his governance for the past 1 year in Nigeria. And to do that with us in the studio, we have Barrister Wale Ogunade, who is the President, Voters Awareness Initiative, and is also a human rights activist. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
It's our pleasure.
And good morning and top of the day to viewers wherever they are watching us. When you are introducing, you say you are congratulating the children. I'm a child too. Yesterday, yes, I was with them in a point at a place, and of course I was busy jumping up and down with them, having a feel of a child. And of course somebody was saying, don't you know you're a grandpa? I said, leave that one. Me too, I'm a baby. Yes. I'm a child.
Somebody was saying that how he wished he remained a child.
Oh, no,
so that all the responsibility.
Okay, don't mind that one. He wants to live an irresponsible life.
So it's our pleasure to have you, sir.
To God be
just as Jumoke said, it's 1 year anniversary of the handing over. That's May 29 last year, 2023, yes, to May 29, 2024. Yes. Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be marking his first year in office. Yes. And so much expectations, you know, yes, even from day one, yes, there was this huge expectation from the people. And 1 year on, we are seeing how far has this administration gone, how well have they fared in office. President was in Lagos a couple of days ago to actually flag off the coastal road, that 700-kilometer coastal road, Lagos Calabar, and that's what, and so many other projects, infrastructures were commissioned on that day. That's one of, let me say, the high points of the administration. I may say, without necessarily preempting you, but for you, in 12 months, how well has this administration fared? That's looking at it holistically.
Yes. It's a very great and interesting time that we are. Tinubu himself made it greater. When he came in with his statement, subsidy is gone, it was a situation where we didn't expect that. You know, the hope was high that Tinubu, being a technocrat and an administrator, 2 in 1, and a morbid Democrat, will look at issues very well and tackle the problems facing Nigeria frontally. But when he came up with that idea of the subsidy is gone, it was something that went off the air. Prices of goods and services went up. Be that as it may, as an administrator, he's been trying to tackle the various challenges that have befell this country. Issue of security, which is number 1. Issue of electricity, number 2. And of course, the economy, which is the main thing. And really, he's been working on it, working hard. And the Yoruba people always say that the chicken or the hen is sweating. It's the feathers that will not allow us. The man is doing a lot of work, really. And really, I will appreciate him, because when one sees what has happened, I'm involved in this thing, and I know that there is a rot in the system. The country is highly and seriously mismanaged. I was talking to my colleagues when we are coming here now that, look at it, the resources that we have. We ought not to be, we don't need this one road, the long bridge. The long bridge, we don't need, it should, by now we should have 3 or 4 bridges, roads or inlets into Lagos. So in or out of Lagos. Not just this one. Once this one, anything happens on this expressway, that's all. You are stuck. And it happens all over. So if the Calabar Expressway is on now, the Lagos-Calabar Expressway is on, then some people who are coming from the Lekki axis and some other parts of the country going to that part will just go through, leave this place for us. Then another one should come in from another axis, maybe from the interchange, go behind that place and enter Papala and Tow, and go on. And of course, some even from Shagam, they will link up with Ikorodu and all, so that there is a wonderful road network relieving the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway of the traffic and the stress. I mean, 2 accidents happened on this road today. One outward, one inward, and that's why we had issues. So, be that as it may, tackling all these issues is enormous. I have had the opportunity of going around Nigeria, and I know Nigeria is a very large country, very big one. 774 local governments, the land mass, and of course somebody to be the president, no doubt is something huge. That is nothing, I'm giving excuse to the Tinubu's administration, but then he is trying as much as possible to see. To me, and that's why you see some of us who are activists, who are involved even in this process, who are progressive and who are in the struggle, giving him some space like, okay, let's look at the next 24 months before we begin to look at it that, yes, we'll do his meter, his scorecard to see how far he has gone. But so far, as far as I'm concerned, he has tried to set the ball rolling, to put governance in place, and to put structures in place for good governance.
All right. So we had a guest last week who, you know, this coastal road we're talking about, sorry, before we leave it, who said that the whole package, Banji, can you remember
it's an unprecedented fraud that the cost of each kilometer is too, I mean, it's humongous. And there's no how this administration that came out to make anti-corruption part of his agenda come out to justify the cost per kilometer on that road. So he's saying that it's an unprecedented fraud. So do you agree?
Not being constitutional or something?
Yeah, that is not provided for in the budget 2023, the budget 2024. These are all the allegations.
I'll start from the rear. It's not budgeted for. We know that government has what we call the ways and means of doing things. They always have the way of doing their things. To me, all those are non-issues. Mine is that the project, what we'll do is that we'll monitor the project to its actual completion. About 2 weeks ago, I don't know, maybe of course people who are watching will confirm this. 2 weeks ago, I went to Ijebode, and I now went to somewhere called Erunwo, is on the extreme of Ijebode, and it's towards Ijebubu or Agoiwe. And a colleague of mine, a friend of mine now said, instead of going back to go through main Ijebode, and the road is not that good anyway, between Ijebode and maybe Shagam, if you know that road very well, bumpy, pothole, riddled, and so on, said, let's go through Agoiwe, pass through the front of BC Onabanjo University, and of course we jump out to Erolu. We link the expressway and we are home, and this road is smooth. Said, hey, let's try it. And we did it. Indeed, it was a smooth road. That's infrastructure. That's development. Meanwhile, look at what it has saved us. Stress, and of course, travel time.
And resources.
And resources. So, where am I going? Meanwhile, some time ago, I guess during the time of Benga Daniel, yes, during the time of Benga Daniel, that road was a mark to be developed. It wasn't. It was abandoned. But I guess the government after Benga Daniel, that's Dapo Abiodun, during his first term, completed it. So where am I going? Is that projects like this are for developmental purposes. And no doubt, I will appreciate those who are scrutinizing the cost and so on. That's not my own area. Mine is that, are you doing something that is beneficial to the people? If it's beneficial to the people, those who are involved in cost, let them look at the cost. But I know that those who even want to implement it, the Tinubu people and the Umahiman, definitely they want something good and they want something that is quality, that has quality, not just anything. And to me, it does not matter what people look at. Mine is to deliver. Mine is that I will work towards the delivery of that project. So that's where we will come in, to ensuring that government delivers this project. For people like us who are travelers, that's the way I got, because the other day I went to Calabar. You know, we lawyers anyway go around Nigeria for our conferences, and we went to Calabar for our conference. We had to go from Lagos through Onitsha. I want to shorten the example, through Onitsha, through Umuahia. Then, of course, we went through to Calabar. We spent, I guess, more than 24 hours on the road, because in between some portions of the road were bad. We were inside the vehicle. But here, we are looking at maybe a 7-hour drive. At worst, even if you don't speed, 8 hours drive or 10 hours drive. Then you are home, safe and dry.
Let's look at when the president was coming a year ago. He had 8-point agenda as his focal point. He spoke about economic growth, reducing insecurity, job creation, fighting corruption, inclusivity, and then access to capital. So many of them. Let's start with the economy. The inflation he met was 18%. As we speak, it's over 30, it's about 33. The president and his men would always tell us, even as we speak, that the country was hemorrhaging, as it was bleeding, and it was in the ICU. So people should actually allow us that they have succeeded in reviving and stabilizing. So is there any justification for the 33% inflation that make the cost of food and everything Nigerians have, almost out of reach of Nigerians?
I'll just let it go straight. Hemorrhaging that you released is the issue. We are all living in borrowed time and living above our means because of the subsidy. Government was not serious about the petroleum product issue, the pricing regime. Why? Because for years, if you remember, during the time of Tam David West,
Yes, sir.
Tam David West, he was the Minister of Petroleum in Nigeria. Then we were having turnaround maintenance, and the man's name was Tam. Turnaround maintenance is Tam. So the man was just busy tamming us. The money for the TAM, only God knows where it was going. But it wasn't going into the turnaround maintenance. And that gave us problems in this country, year in, year out. And now, we see that the government is now serious about the TAM and the issue. The government is looking at the issue, transforming the economy. But beyond that, no doubt, what has caused all this problem is the increase in fuel, the removal of the fuel subsidy, where prices of fuel and its other associated products is going up. And since that's the situation, then definitely the economy, there will be inflation and so on and so forth. What we look at is that we must begin to how do I put that word? Impress it on government to bring out cushioning policies, things that will make the people suffer less, so as to ensure that the pain is reduced. And once that is reduced, then it will give room for the sectors of the economy that government is working on to pick up. When that one pick up, then of course the economy will begin to come, the inflation rate will begin to come down. And when the inflation rate begin to come down, then things will be okay for everyone. So to me, my own advice is that government should begin to work around how these policies will be, how do I put it, how the people will feel a cushioning of the various harsh policies that are on ground. And there are so many ways.
Why was it not well thought out before the subsidy was removed?
Yes, that's one of the issues that really
Why was it not well thought out?
Yes, that's one of the issues. That why is it not well thought out? I would have expected that Tinubu would have waited, sat down, engaged the stakeholders. In fact, in engaging the stakeholders, all those, okay, you brought in this fuel at this rate. We are not going, after you have finished this ration, when will it finish in the next 2 months? Okay, our suppliers, we'll talk to them so that they will bring down the price when they are bringing it, so that we too will bring out, will now remove the subsidy, and so on. There will have been, but again, just as you have said, and this is not the first time our decision coming up, it's not a well thought out policy. But the only thing I see here is that the Nigerian people just are patient with the president, just to see how these policies will time out.
Policies? And have they worked?
Well, they have not worked. The politics have not worked. The minute palliative that have been sent out or that have been brought out have gotten to the wrong hands, and those ones have even turned them around, and they are now even turned them into commercial items that they now sell back to the people instead of they giving them to them free. So to me, government, particularly Tinubu, should have his feet on the ground. The man is a grassroots politician. He knows every word in this country. He knows it. He knows it very well. And I will expect that he will call a meeting of all these political leaders, ensuring that all these things get down to the grassroots. For information, the other day, the woman leader in Ondo State, I guess during the time of Akeredolu, was beaten up because the palliative that was given to her did not get to the people. And this shouldn't be. There must, and of course, for such a thing, it's not that the people will beat them and they will leave them.
Thank God that you brought out the issue of palliative. The Ministry of
Women Affairs.
That's led by the Beta Edu. I mean, was emerged in serious...
No, not that one is humanitarian.
Humanitarian, yes, humanitarian was emerged in serious corruption issues. And we are seeing that if the government set out to actually tackle corruption, why would such, I mean, of recent you heard of the case of the former governor of Kogi State, that's Yaya Bello, that was alleged to have actually siphoned 80 billion. Should that be happening now after all the promises? People say Tinubu is bold, courageous. Have we started seeing this?
I guess we should just excuse Tinubu in this way. On this
one.
No, I'm going somewhere to excuse him, because you see that those who are involved in this issue are high-profile personalities. And they didn't treat them as sacred cows. As we talk now, Yahya is still in hiding. All he needs, if Tinubu wants to intervene, all he needs to do is to give Olukoyede, or what's the name of the EFCC man, don't look this way. And that's all. He will be working a free man. But the man says he's going to deal with him. He made it bold on the air that he must face the law. And Tinubu has not called him. If Tinubu calls him to order, what you see is that you see Yaya Bello gallivanting. And do I need to, of course, I don't need to refresh your memory that immediately the Betty Edu scandal broke up, she was relieved of her appointment, and she too, she's going through various investigations, and it may be prosecuted in court. So, to me, I don't think Tinubu is encouraging graft, as it were. If anything at all, there is an agency that is handling that. He has empowered the agency to do his job, and that one is doing his job very well. Nobody is above the law in that regard. So, to me, I think to that extent, the issue of corruption is being fought seriously. And I'll challenge people, if you see, don't keep quiet. Just like this Calabar Expressway thing, if you are a qualified engineer, you are a quantity engineer, you don't know, there is a price, there is it, present it, I'll put it in the public domain, and people like us will hit at it that no, you must deliver on this project, you must look at the cost, and so on and so forth. And we'll go on. But you see, to me, is that I don't like the idea of we not wanting things to be done. There are some people, politics is politics. It is politics of bad belly, as we call it. We are no more in the era of politics. This is governance. And ours is to support government to succeed. When we now get to the era of politics, we now run politics.
All right, so one of the challenges in the country is this hydra-headed monster of insecurity. And we still have spate of attacks here and there. Okay, would you say that the body language of President Tinubu's administration is like going all out handle this issue of insecurity? How would you rate their
Capacity.
response to the issue of insecurity?
I'm meant to be a spokesman for the Tinubu administration.
No, you are a public affairs analyst. You are a human rights lawyer. Of course, you wouldn't want to sacrifice the well-being of the people.
Yes, the issue of security is top, because that was Section 14 of the 1999 Constitution says. The welfare and security of the people is the paramount concern and the essence of government anyway. And I know the Tinubu government is doing a lot in that regard. I know the antecedent of Kayode Egbetokun, the Inspector General of Police. I know the antecedent of Nuhu Ribadu, who is the National Security Advisor. I don't know about that of the Chief of Army Staff or all the service chiefs. I don't know them. But I know that for Tinubu to have picked them, then definitely they will be able to deliver. And from the snippet from the news and all that we see, they are trying. The issue of banditry, the issue of kidnapping, and the issue of armed robbery, those are the three-headed monsters that are disturbing us in this country. And of course, don't forget those who are oil thieves, those who are bunkers, those who are illegal miners and so on. There are so many issues that have been left untouched for years. And because they have been left untouched for years, those who are involved and those who are near are now emboldened to carry out such activities with reckless abandon, with effrontery and affrontry, even dislodging. There wasn't an interview of one of these bandits who said that since government was not dealing with anything, they just took out that the way they can deal with the situation was for them to come out and begin to carry out dastardly acts. Especially they were emboldened by the way government handled the Chibok girls issue. And it's a natural thing. But if government is alive to its responsibility, as soon as an incident happens, you cordon the place, go around the place. Like I was telling somebody in a program, and I said, when I was a small boy, maybe because I like action, I'm sure there's a program. I don't know, I'm sure maybe you know that program called Hawaii 5-0. Aha. You know how the action was. Action, action, action. And there's no way. Criminals are always fished out. They will use the staff car. They will use the helicopter. They will use all sorts of technology to get to all those who are criminals. Why not? I will maybe use this opportunity and occasion to tell the security people to go search the internet and look for Hawaii 5-0 or they go for training on tackling crimes. And James Bond film and see. St. James one even is just the way, that one is a detective or something. But this one is combating criminals. And
in other words, they have not shown enough capacity.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's your work. You must be on the field. Once you hear that, yes, some bandits have taken some people as victims, you go to that area, comb beat, you get them. They don't have the firepower of the state. The state will overwhelm them. They don't have the firepower. And for your information, for you to know that they don't have the firepower, that's why when they commit the crime, they run into the bush and go into hiding. Because they know that indeed, if they are caught, it's wahala. So why don't you take advantage of that? Get information. Have intelligence. Have your people all over. This thing is simple. Be traveling, the highway. Have people who will be going on the highway in Mufti. Maybe 4 vehicles on each highway. They will be giving themselves 20 minutes or 30 minutes. This is a simple thing. 20 minutes or 30 minutes pace. When this one goes, the next 30 minutes, another one take off, going this way, another one going this way. The whole highways. Instead of these security people sitting down in their offices and drinking tea and wasting taxpayers' money. We can combat crime. It happens in other even civilized society, no doubt. But you see, as soon as the crime is committed, those who commit the crime are apprehended. So what makes it difficult in this country? And when you see the profile of these people who are security chiefs, you see that they went to school in these high-profile schools outside Nigeria. So what's the essence? And of course, in most cases, or in all cases, they are trained. They went to those courses on the taxpayers' bill.
I know you are not a businessman, you are a legal practitioner, but I know one way or the other you've had issues, you've had cause to actually buy dollar or use dollar. The harmonization of the exchange rate is said to be one of the albatross of this administration. I mean, it has had several implications on our economy. Dollar, as we speak now, of course, it crashed. I mean, dollar rebound yesterday. It came to 1,300 plus. But then even at that, this administration met it at 460. So how do you see this, the economic team of this and their policies in ameliorating the suffering of the
everything is on the petroleum and the pricing system of the crude and petroleum policy. And unfortunately, we run a dollarized economy, that everything is attached to the dollar.
And they've also been trying to regulate that.
I'm going there. So once you begin to talk, even unfortunately at high level of government, talking the dollar, not the naira, then definitely we're in trouble. And don't forget that the civil servant particularly and the politician generally, what they are after is the money. They are not interested in the well-being of the citizens and the state. So if they are talking about the dollar, the better the dollar is stronger than the naira, the better for them. And don't forget that most of the time too, they have projects that are dollarized projects. And once those projects are dollarized, then definitely it's to their own advantage. And who is going to work against this? We are mere stakeholders. The major stakeholders, we are mere, not my word, we are mere stakeholders. The major stakeholders are those politicians in the National Assembly who will make the law. First to the central bank, that the Nigerian naira is a currency in circulation. But doesn't it baffle you that central bank too talks about the dollar? So the banker of the bankers talks about the dollar. So how won't the dollar become the legal tender as it were? And if that is the situation, then how can it fall when it is the one that is being in use every day? Anything is dollar. Yeah. Right. When we talk, it is dollar. It is when you go to the local market that you use the naira. When you go to corporate board meetings, it is their discussion is based on the dollar, not on naira.
Is it possible to have a shift?
It's government. They say right on Tinubu's shoulder. All he needs to do is to make a pronouncement. Like he make that pronouncement about the subsidy is gone. The official currency of the country is the naira. Any reference to the dollar is not allowed and it's no more permissible. It's illegal.
But the economic team has come out with that policy, saying that the dollarization of the economy must stop. That has taken place already, or it must come from the president.
There is the announcement and there is the
implementation.
Is it implemented? If it's implemented, you will see now, you and me will see. This is not hide and seek.
Okay, let's talk about job creation. Our youth graduates have been turned out in their thousands every year. How would you rate the job creation policy of this administration?
I want to believe those who are in charge of it are not doing their job seriously. Because it's a simple thing. It's a simple thing. I lead organizations. I head organizations, and we're doing some things wonderful. And along the line, for you to know, you remembered I was led an organization within this precinct some time ago. And you saw the way I turned that place round. And after some people tried to play some pranks, that I left them for us to see, hot and cold, which one is good, or oil and water, which one is good. You saw that the thing crashed because of leadership. Who are the people that are made to head these organizations? Man, no man, political consideration, or somebody who has the ability, somebody who has the capacity. There are some vital organizations or institutions of government that are not given or just used for job for the boys. Job creation is something interesting. It's a simple thing to do.
Where companies are folding up, some are actually divesting, Some are leaving the country. Where would the job come from? Is the
No,
government going to be taking jobs back in?
you see, these things are not rocket science. Let me give you an example. Maybe my own is so mundane, it's not known to the world. Obama came to the presidency when the economy of America was nosediving. But by the time he left that office, haba, things changed. This changed. If the American Constitution would have allowed a third term, Obama would have gotten a third term because he revived the economy. That's what we're talking about, capacity. That's what we're talking about, ability. And I brought my own example that you know. A group that from nowhere, I remember the statement you said that day when we met at the meeting point. You said, you have brought your NGO experience to the beer here. When I left, you saw what happened. The project is as dead as dodo as we talk now.
All right, so because we need to end this conversation, but as a human rights activist looking at the level of governance and its impact on the people, as a human rights activist, how would you rate this government, let's say 1 to 10?
No, the government has got, I'll just give them 4. I'm a teacher by profession, by training too, apart from being a lawyer. So I'm tough again about my marks. I'll give them 4 because where I'm hanging it, my assessment is when the president visited Lagos, particularly his backyard, and the people who welcomed him with the song, "We Are Hungry." And I expected by now, unfortunately, I want to believe maybe what, I guess it's Tola Adeni or what's the name of this PR of Yadua? I guess either Tola Adeni, not Tola Adeni, Tola Adeni.
And Shegun
Adeni. Shegun Adeni said there's something in that Aturok that deafens the ears of those who are leaders. Because I know Tinubu is a humane person. But now that people are crying, there is hunger in the land, and there is a way he can sort these things out. I know him. There are hands that I know that he should use to sort things out that he has not used. I know what I'm saying. And I hope this thing can get to Tinubu. Let him do a retrospect so that the second year, all of us will shout, Uhuru. It's easy.
Sorry, please. If we have spent the last 30 minutes or thereabout focusing on the Tinubu's administration, could he have done better if he had had greater support from the governors, from the states, from the administration of the states?
No.
Could he have done better?
No. I hope you are not trying to play the devil's advocate here.
No, I'm asking.
Because all the governors, fairness, both those in his party and outside his party, all say they are behind him solidly. And Oti, who is this PDP man that these people are fighting? Enugu man, the Enugu governor. Umba. At least I remember those two in the east. Not to talk of the Plateau governor. He's a PDP governor. They are all solidly behind him.
By word of mouth?
By whatever it is that he wants to do. If they say they are solidly behind him, it's not for him to now take advantage of that. If they now reacting, then you let the Nigerian people know that, these people are playing politics. So this is governance era. Governance era. I say governance era. And of course, they have overlooked their political divide.
Advice said. I mean, you and I are aware that at a point it was said that federal government released funds to the states up to the point of up to the tune of 5 billion.
Is it 5 billion or 30 billion?
Eh?
Okay, let's leave it. They release money to them. Yes, go on.
So what became of the funds? I mean, are you saying the funds was adequately or judiciously disbursed?
We're on the same page, my brother.
For the well-being of the people.
We're on the same page. You know, I said the hands to put these policies on ground, to make them work, are not there. If funds have been given, I mean, you and I here, we all have one thing or the other that we do. You are leaving house now, you give somebody, maybe you're somebody who is close to you, 20,000 naira to carry out an assignment, to do something, make some purchases. You came back in the evening, you didn't even care to bother about it. Whose fault? It's your fault. So Tinubu gave money, he didn't bother to look at how it is. For him to have a report, then it is his problem. You don't give people assignment and you don't overlook, you don't supervise. That's why I said the hands that are working with him are not, some of them are not capable. Or he will look at people who can handle specific things and give them. He has the power to appoint special, even if he can appoint special advisor for anything he wants to, or special assistant for any assignment. Nobody queries that. Ours is that we want the job to be done because the buck stops on the table.
So some of the, you are saying that some of the ministers may have to go for him.
There is not me. They will go. They should go. They have no business in government. The other minister, there was one minister that plumbed when he was being interviewed. Do you remember? In the Senate? Do you hear about him? I can't even remember. Being in the news, I can't remember the office he holds. Not to talk of the action activities. We want to see the ministers working, not that they will just be in Abuja sipping tea.
All right.
Sipping
So we
tea.
look forward to better things in the second
Next 12 months.
By this time next year, we'll be doing another assessment. Thank you so much, sir, for lending your voice to this conversation.
To God be the glory.
All right, so we'll move to the second segment of the program like we always do, assessing or showcasing what the governor of Lagos State is doing, particularly in the ministerial briefing from the different agencies and ministries in Lagos State, showcasing what they have done also in the first term of the second tenure of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. So please watch that, and then we'll be back next week for another edition of Summit. I am Tinubu, my friends.
And I'm Banji Busari. Yes, continue to hold your government, if local government, state, and federal government, continue to hold them accountable. If you sit back and wait till the end of 4 years, well, you'll be the one to actually pay the price. The people in Abuja, they are taking care of themselves. Don't sit back there and wait for them to finish their tenure. Always take them, hold them accountable for their activities. That's my word of advice for this edition. My name is Banji Busari. See you.